AI can give you so much in news, it's hard to keep up. Here's 4 things that happened just in the past couple of days. Number one is Strawberry information. So, Strawberry, if you're not familiar with the rumor mill, is what everyone is calling OpenAI's new large language model intelligence project. It used to be called Q or Q star, and they renamed it to Strawberry. I guess it's more friendly. Anyway, the idea that dropped this time, the rumor that dropped this time, this is in the information, I'll link it, is that this is a model focused on novel reasoning, non-hallucinatory results, and complex multi-step problem solving. And there is a big drawback. We are so used to the ChatGPT 4.0 model of instantaneous responses that everyone sort of assumes that one of the implicit constraints at ChatGPT is they will keep the speed as they increase the intelligence. That's, according to the rumors, apparently proving very difficult. And they're now trying to figure out, can we compress this large model into something smaller and more performant that we can put into a chat window to meet people's expectations or not? And one of the options could be that they could choose to give you 2 options, right? Do I want the correct answer slowly, or do I want the approximate answer quickly? And you might think, oh, we always go for the correct answer. Or maybe you think you always go for the fast answer. But I bet you there's people on both sides of the fence there. And I think that's part of what's interesting about this entire discussion. There is no free lunch here. We are increasing intelligence, but increasing intelligence at the cost of usability. And this is kind of getting back to one of my fundamental theses around sort of the path to artificial general intelligence, which is that eventually we may get to a spot where these machines are able to do really complex problem-solving tasks, truly novel problems. Strawberry may be a leap in that direction. It's apparently been demoed to the national security establishment in the United States already. Perhaps it will be, right? It'll be a step in that direction potentially. But even if it is, I'm not sure how useful it will be day to day if it's slow. If you were already used to working with ChatGPT as a fallible junior intern, someone who makes a lot of mistakes, and by the way, I've known interns much better than ChatGPT, so that is not a knock on interns at all. If you're already used to working with it as something fallible and you check what it does and you get instantaneous responses, it's actually a whole new workflow. It's a whole new problem space to go back and say, what problems do I have that are complex enough I would want it to run a long time? Maybe I set the prompt up and I run it overnight and I check it in the morning. It doesn't even feel like the same piece of intelligence or intelligence allocation at that point. It feels like 2 sets of intelligences, and you have to sort of decide, which one do I need for this problem? And that gets back to the idea that fundamentally what we're going to need as a skill as humans in the new economy is the ability to allocate tasks across intelligences. Is this a human intelligence task? And now is it a ChatGPT 4.0 4 model type intelligence task? Or is it potentially a Strawberry type intelligence task where you need that sort of multi-step reasoning on the first try? And the key thing is this: not so many problems are actually in that multi-step reasoning process. You may think that there's a ton of them, and maybe on a global scale, there's a lot of meaningful, difficult multi-step problems to be solved. But from a pure knowledge worker in business perspective, you're not solving novel multi-step reasoning problems all that frequently at work. I've got news for you. So we'll see. That's the rumor mill. I'll link the information leak article or inferred rumor article, or, we'll all see when it actually comes out article underneath the YouTube here. 3 other things to quickly get to. Gemini released another model. No one is paying attention to Gemini, and they just keep giving you free tokens. And so if you're a developer, Gemini is a great one to build with. Like, there's just so much free usage that they give you. I think it's in the billions now in tokens. Claude released artifacts, which are their sort of standalone little new UI where they write something in the side of the pane, and you can work with it separately from the main conversation. I find it really useful, and that's now out on iPhone. And last but not least, speaking of iPhones, apparently Apple Intelligence is delayed. That came out a couple weeks ago. But what came out recently is that iPhone 16 is still going to have some features of artificial intelligence. It's just not clear what. Is it a hardware feature? Is it a software feature? It's not clear. So we will see. The main news is Strawberry. That's what I put at the top. What did I miss? Tell me what you think of Strawberry. What would you use multi-step reasoning for? That's the question that I'm thinking about.